Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. We got a Rossignol Forza 70 for you today. This is a carryover ski in terms of shape, construction, and profile. We do get a new graphic for 2026, but the ski returns otherwise unchanged. And I think that's great news because this thing rips. Really fun frontside ski that does have some slight all-mountain notes to it, although the shape and the profile certainly scream loudly that it is a frontside ski and meant to be used in a carved turn. I just have found it hard to deny kind of the versatility of the ski when it comes to softer, broken, and more cut-up snow. Certainly not a ski that I'm looking to take into deep powder in the woods, but as the conditions kind of change throughout the day, it is helpful to have a slightly wider bodied footprint, as well as a wider shovel and a sturdy overall build. Really cuts through the crud and the chop with ease and delivers incredibly powerful performance on the tail end. It is built with a poplar wood core. We do get a full Titanal layup in here, as well as carbon alloy matrix. So that carbon alloy matrix is a cross-hatched weave of carbon and basalt fibers. They use it in a V-shaped method, so by kind of using it as a, kind of putting a kink into it, they're using a three-dimensional format. Anytime you're putting those materials in a three-dimensional format, you're increasing the stiffness of that product, which is a really smart way of enhancing materials without adding more stuff. So I think that's a really smart thing from Rossignol's perspective. We also get vibration absorption system in the forebody, just to keep things smoother and damper. Line control technology, so a central strip of ABS material, basically acts like a third sidewall if we're considering a sidewall of vertical laminate. Adding that third strip through the middle does a great job at keeping the ski smooth and damp, preventing counterflexing, and just providing, keeping the ski on its intended course. That LCT works really great. It is an oversized shovel, and as such, anytime you're getting things wider, you're losing torsional stiffness. They do have to reinforce the tip with additional material, and that allows it to get up on edge quicker and easier with less drag, or less lag time, I should say, from a lack of torsional stiffness. So pretty good, nice, strong construction throughout. It does come with that Connect 12 system binding. We have this with just the plate here, and this 173 is on the scale at 1,915 grams. Usually account for about 200 grams for those plates. So, over 1,700 grams on this 173, which is on the lighter side. It doesn't feel like a very heavy ski. Once you get that Connect binding on there, yeah, we're looking at a heavier product. But as it is, it's not an overly heavy or demanding ski. Shape and profile, this is where we see some really interesting stuff from Rossignol's engineering department. Oversized shovel, narrower tail, kind of more of that pintail technology that we've seen in the past, where it allows you to really bend into the turn with ease, and then the tail allows you to really feather kind of the end course of that carve. So it's a very natural way of going about it. You, the skier, are dictating turn shape and style, as opposed to a wider tail that's going to be locked into the turn, or at least more equal shapes in the tip and tail that are going to be a little bit less predictable. This is a really good way of going about it, and just puts more emphasis on the skier and their kind of decision-making process, even within a turn. Pretty much a fully cambered ski here. There's just not a lot going on in terms of rocker. There is a lot of camber, long camber. Contact points are brought well up to the end. And then we really see a complete lack of taper here. The widest part of the ski is at the very tip. So that's going to allow for an earlier edge contact, smoother overall because you're getting a longer effective edge. Rocker, yeah, sure, if Rossignol wants to call it that, but really just a traditionally cambered, on-piste performer. Flat, square tail, not a whole lot of imagination going on here. It is built to grip and hold on to the very end. You know, no splay, no rocker back here. This thing is a pure front side tail. But with that shovel, you're able to kind of mix it up a little bit and get into some softer snow, which is really, really fun. You know, if you're in the moguls, you do have to worry about those tips kind of wandering a little bit. But if you're in the trees, you kind of widen your stance a little bit, and yeah, you can feel a little bit of surfiness coming out of a 77 millimeter wasted ski. It does produce a 14 meter turn radius here, and it does like to be in that turn shape. I think if you open it up and try to go longer and faster, you're going to be met with a little bit of resistance. This is meant to be more in that zone. Nice short carver, but it is stable enough to kind of open it up and hit some higher speeds. We do have some tester feedback here. Grant Wheeler says it is a super responsive frontside carving ski, very fun. More responsive and playful than the other skis in the class. Loves to be pushed on edge, but able to be broken free into a variety of turns and jumped around. Yeah, I think that's that tail that Grant's feeling, that you're able to kind of, you know, let go easier and get different levels of energy out of it. It's a very interesting shape, different than most traditional frontside skis. So, you know, we're stoked to have this thing back for another year. Nice sharp new graphic. Make sure to check out the Rossignol Forza 70 here at SkiEssentials.com, and we will see you out there on the hill. Bye.